Okay, so we are going to write a comparative piece on ballot becoming a republic. Now, you don't have to write this out, but if you want to, or you want to take notes while we do it, that's totally fine. And the comparison with Dutton same-sex marriage postal vote. Dutton same-sex marriage postal vote. ... I just can't be bothered writing out the whole thing because who can? Alright, so what is the first thing, Caitlin, we need? What's the first process we write?
The authors? Oh, like the general intro.
The general intro. Okay, so we start off with the general intro. Now, usually, can I say, usually you would not write general intro at the top. Your areas do not need a heading. But because I am walking you through this, I will have a heading. But usually, do not write a heading. It's like if you wrote paragraph 1 and then wrote your paragraph. There's no need to do that, okay? Everybody used to do it when they were little. Don't do it now, okay? Okay, so, general intro. Tell me, we can look on this sheet that I gave you, lucky people. What do we need in it? No, not iTask. We don't need all the iTask. Yeah, we are, man. We are. But we don't need all of it. So the general introduction, these are not compulsory. We don't need all of it. They are a guide to the kind of things you may want to include. Okay? Now, I reckon with the general intro, I think the things that you definitely need are the issue, the titles, the authors, and the stances, and try and work in some comparison if you can. Okay?
Contention.
Stance is like, are they pro-postal voting? Are they anti-postal voting? Like, as straightforward as that. Like, what is their base opinion on the issue? Okay? I wouldn't worry about kind of giving contentions and relationships and all that kind of stuff. I'd probably put those in my article intros, where I want to be a little bit more specific. This is the general intro, so I want to keep it general. Make it a sense.
If you ever say like Article 1, you write the name.
Good. Yeah, you don't say Article 1. You say ballot on becoming a republic. Or you could say Jacques' article. Yeah. So, yeah?
Would Jacques' article be the title?
No. The article title is Ballot Paper on Becoming a Republic. I wish I could vote for a leader. But you might shorten it to Ballot on Becoming a Republic, ... But the first time you write it in full. I know, killer. I know. So, now that I know that I need to give issue, title, author, and stances, what do you think would sound the best to start with? Would it sound better to start with the titles of all the articles, or do you think it would sound better to start with the giving a general issue?
Issue.
I think it would sound better kind of, starting with the issue and then working down. Okay, so what could I say about the issue? What do we know about the issue? 3 or 4 lines will do it. Yep.
That it's about the use of the postal survey to find out Australia's opinion on political issues.
Yep. Find out political issues that are controversial. Okay. Yep. Used in same-sex marriage. I just wrote sex, yeah. Same-sex marriage. Wanted to use on the Republic. Yeah, so I'm just kind of dot pointing out what I'm going to write about. And the great thing about this is the issue is going to be the same on your sack. So you could literally just cook up something and then vomit it out when you get to the actual sack, couldn't you? No problemo. Easy. Okay. You could if you wanted. Don't literally vomit, but if you wanted to, go ahead. All right, so somebody please take those 4 dot points and put them into full sentences, please. What do you got?
During 2017, the Liberal government decided the use of the postal survey to come to an agreement on the same-sex marriage.
Hang on, the Liberal government?
Yeah, the Liberal government used the postal survey to ask the Australian public on whether they should legislate to allow same-sex marriage.
To decide whether Australia should legislate same-sex marriage. Okay. This postal survey reported that the majority of voters who voluntarily replied to the survey were in approval. No, that doesn't sound right, does it? Were supportive. Were supportive of same-sex marriage legislation. Okay. And then, should I follow that up with maybe something about like using it? So I've done the postal survey. I've done the same-sex marriage. Now I need to talk about political issues that are more controversial and wanting a republic. Should I then go in and go on January... Was it January 1st? No, it was January 2nd, wasn't it?
January 1st.
Was it January 1st? And then the reply from Labor was January 2nd. Okay, so January 1st, 2018, Malcolm Turnbull said maybe we will use a postal vote to decide on whether we should vote on being a republic. Yeah? So, off the back of this event, in 2018, in January 2018, Prime Minister Turnbull... Do you like how I say each word as I write it? I know that sounds really stupid that I say each word as I write it, but if you're somebody who struggles with fluency and flow, you should say each word as you write them, because it keeps your head in the game. Yeah, you can. You can do it in a sec. Just quietly whisper to yourself. Just quietly. Just very quietly. No, you cannot type in the sack. No. Even when you say please, I'm not going to let you.
If you say you've got something that you need to.
You've got something that you need to?
Yeah, there we go. There's my reasoning.
Damon doesn't speak proper English. He needs to type.
Yes.
Okay. Look, you can put it to Vika.
What if
Feel
my
free.
left hand fell off?
You're right-handed. If your right hand fell off, they would say, start learning how to use your left.
That's why I said the left hand fell off. I didn't realise it was.
Anyway, Prime Minister Turnbull. But yes, ignoring Damon, if you are someone who struggles with fluency and flow when you write, obviously you don't struggle with fluency when you speak. So what I would suggest is, well, sometimes you might, but what I would suggest is definitely something that helps me when I write is to say it out loud as I write it, because I hear when things are not sounding correct, or when I'm missing some punctuation. When I need punctuation, when my sentences are too long or they're too wordy, I start hearing it. So that would be my recommendation. Off the back of this event, in January 2018, Prime Minister Turnbull suggested that a postal vote could be used to decide whether Australia has a referendum on becoming a republic. I don't know why, I just forgot how to spell republic for like 5 seconds, and I was just like, okay. No. Done. Okay, so that is my general intro done and dusted. And literally, I could write something like that, think about it, polish it, perfect it, make it beautiful, and then memorize it, and then done. But no, I'm not done with my general intro. I've just got my issue. That's just the issue. So now I give the titles. Don't worry, you're going to get this whole doc. I'm going to send it to you, mate. Like, you can take photos of me if you want, but, like, chill out. By the way, Lachlan, did you see that you're on the Mary Mead website? Looking all educational and stuff.
With no pen.
Oh yeah, he didn't have a pen, but he was there. He was there, giving a grin. No, you didn't have a pen with you.
I was halfway through an argument and you decided to take a photo.
Yeah, but if we were going to wait for you to stop talking,
I had this
it'd take too long.
This face that was like
semi-piss, like 24/7.
let me just pretend to be like happy.
I liked it. You're not going to escape that photo now. You know that, don't you?
And it's on the Facebook and Instagram.
It's on their Instagram. It's on their all their social medias. They're loving it.
Yeah.
They're loving you, Locke. You're a winner.
Yeah, they got Instagram around the time that opened.
Yeah,
it's really
loving
weird.
it. So, we'll talk about Mary Mead's social media later. But Lachlan, I would definitely suggest zooming in on you and using that as your profile pic. Profile pic, for sure. Because it makes you look educated. You look like super educated. All right. Just please don't zoom in on me. Satire. Right. So now I want to talk about the actual articles. Come on. We've got to move swiftly. I want to talk about the articles, the titles. What am I going to say? And I'm going to talk about the stances. So could I then lead into stances and then go something like, what was it? Owen Jacques. Did I spell Jacques right?
Yeah, no, Jacques.
Yeah. Owen Jacques' article.
Opinion piece.
Yeah, you could say opinion piece. Why not? Let's be fancy. Piece. Ballot on becoming a republic. I wish I could vote. I wish I could vote for a leader.
How long do we have to do this again? An hour?
90 minutes. Thank you. All right. I wish I could vote for a leader. Now I want to work in the stance. How can I work in the stance?
Opposes the idea.
Opposes, good. Opposes the idea of using a postal vote. In contrast, now I've got a bit of comparison. Minister Peter Dutton, aka Franklin the Turtle, praises the use of the the postal vote in the same sex marriage debate. However, he agrees that this should not be a universal approach.
Isn't that more of a contention issue?
Well, I'm kind of diving into its stance and then hinting at contention, but that's okay. Cool. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Good point. Minister Peter Dutton praises the postal in his article. What's his called? In his article, the same sex. Why do they write such big titles? I mean, really?
Really long sentences.
It's When it's about the title, it won't matter.
I still don't understand the structure of the general introduction.
I know, that's why I'm going to talk it through, mate. Stick with me. I promise. I'll get you there.
Or me.
Yes.
General introduction is gonna be like
One's
a whole
Article
essay.
1 has 3 arguments, yet the other 2 have
Because usually your Articles 2 and 3 will be smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. Article 2 and 3 will be smaller. Michael, don't sleep. I know this isn't the most exciting thing we've done so far this year, but you need to know this. All right. Sorry, just going through.
Oh, we don't need to put the hell up.
Alright. So, I'm going to go through it. You ready, Lockie? Oh, yes, my darling.
You know how with the titles you made them on capitals?
Yeah. Except for, like, the joiner words, yeah.
Yeah. But on the actual article it's not in capitals. So
I
do you
know.
need to do that?
You still need to do it, yeah. I mean, they're not going to care one way or the other, but, like, the inner grammar Nazi of me cares. But it's not a make or break. No. But it's just, like, one of those formalities that we just do.
Somewhere? I thought I just did it out of habit.
No.
I got taught.
You were smart. All right. So, we ready? So, Lachlan, this is your general intro, okay? You've got the issue, which goes down to here. And basically, you could polish one up and, like, basically vomit it back up verbatim if you wanted. Okay, because the issue is always going to be the same. Then I've included the titles and the authors. So I've included the authors of the articles. Prime Minister Dutton. And the titles. Pink. I wish the highlighter colours were not so bold, because I feel like sometimes that they're too dark.
They are.
Yeah. I'll do it for the
Turquoise.
yeah, I'll use a different one for the contentions, because you know what the titles are.
Yes.
Lachlan?
Yes.
So then we've got the stances,
Which book colour is that?
blue, and then let's go with orange or something. What's a good colour? Oh, none of these. Poo. In poo, we're doing the contrast. So I've just put a little bit. I've put a tiny bit of comparison in there, because part of the S or N component is have you compared. So basically what I've tried to do in my general intro because it's the first thing I write, is cover all my SRNs, which is touch on each of the articles, show an understanding of each of the articles, and I've done that by showing my understanding of their stances. I've touched on the understanding of issue, okay, which is another SRN component, and I've touched on comparison, which is another SRN component. So basically, by just doing this, I've ensured that I can S. Okay? Very important. Because, let's be honest, you might actually run out of time and maybe not get to comparison, and then it's like, oh dear, are we S-ing? Okay? The great thing is, look, I have a whole little demonstration of words of comparison that you could use. You butt. Oh, that's just the title. That's just the title. But yeah, I've got a whole wall of words of comparison that you can use.
Got it.
I'm quite happy to send that to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so anyone got any questions about general intro? Nah, that's actually pretty easy. Let's move on then. Let's do our Article 1 intro. Again, we don't have these headings in the real deal, but because we're learning, we have the training wheels. Michael, do you need to stand up and jump around?
Jump around.
Should you though? I feel like you should stand up and have a stretch. You're doing the struggle dance. Yuji, and who else has got their laptops open? Can we shut our laptops, please? Or are you just using it to hold up the thing? Promise? I can't hear you because your mouth is zipped. Good. Alright. Stevie, you ready?
Yeah.
Good. Alright. Article intro. So if you have a look at your lovely diagram that Yuji has on his computer screen, in our article intro, we definitely need these things: title, author, contention, audience, relationship. We definitely need to touch on all of those. You probably don't need to touch on your stance again because literally we just did that. So you probably don't need to worry about that. But the other ones you could do. Again, the iTask thing, it's not a set in stone. But there are ones that you really do need to do. So you do need to mention what the contention is. You do need to, if there is a relationship, you need to mention it. You know, if there is, you know, something interesting about the audience, you need to mention that. So, let's do it. That's my email. Okay.
Wait, so what are the colours representing it? So what's the blue?
The blue is the stances. Yeah. All right. Ready to roll? So, start me off. Locke, start me off. For my article intro, I need title, author, contention, audience, relationship. What do you want to start with?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the title.
Title, okay.
So
In the article, I'm going to shorten it because I've already written it out in full once. Ballot on,
Are you allowed to do that?
once you've written it out once, yeah, definite. Becoming a republic, and then I just go ...
Written by what's his face?
Good. Be good if I could type, but you know. Did you know when I went to school, typing was an actual class? Like when I was in high school, you actually had typing lessons, and at my school you had to choose between typing lessons or learning an instrument.
Oh.
I chose learning an instrument because I was like, as if I'm even going to use a computer. Like, I'm not going to be doing that when I'm like out in the world.
Now look at you.
A saxophone, super useful. Super useful.
Did you learn Careless Whisper?
Like, I love it though.
Careless Whisper? That's the only thing you need to know in the saxophone.
I've learned pretty much.
I'm literally saying that because Sarah's going to watch this video.
Oh,
Play
okay.
Saxophone.
Was it
Oh,
the tenor saxophone?
No, I didn't play the tenor. I played the alto.
Oh,
But I can play tenor and baritone.
tenor's way better.
Tenor, I don't like tenor.
It's more.
I don't. It's too brassy for me. It's too like, I don't know. I like alto. It sounds like a
Don't agree with Sarah
voice.
on the alto. can't agree with Sarah on the alto.
She doesn't like the alto as much?
She likes it.
Oh, yay, go Sarah. Yeah. It's all about the alto, guys. Come on. And the baritone's fun because you can make fart noises on it. But, you know.
Or you could just be Courtney and make fart noises.
You know, that's what I'm into. Okay, so anyway, that was, I literally went to, so that was in 1997. That's not even that long ago. I know. How life has changed.
Windows 98. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and that's why I can't touch type.
In a simpler time.
I did, maybe I did live in a simpler time.
There was less Facebook stuff.
Oh, what?
Definitely less Facebook stalking.
No, but
Oh, okay, you're just chilling.
No, it's in like Windows.
All right. So in the article, Lachlan, in the article, Ballot on Becoming a Republic by Owen Jacques. Owen Jacques. Yeah.
How would you sentence
So then I still need to cover
the contention and
contention, audience, and relationship. Contends that. Contends that. Yeah. Yeah. The great thing, and I think a lot of people who are not big Englishers, if you don't like love English, people like this style of writing because it's just like you call a spade a spade. You go, he contends this. The tone is, you know, like you don't have to kind of like,
Be metaphorical.
yeah, or like dance around it or try not to be, you know, you've got to be a bit subtle. Whereas this, it's just like, no, call a spade a spade. Tell me what the contention is. I'm looking for that word contention. So, contends that, we said that the postal voting is an irresponsible governing tool and is a way for politicians to shirk responsibility. Cool. Okay. Ow. Alright. So that's my contention. Now I need to cover audience and relationship. Let's talk about audience for a second. Because audience is one of those things that lots of people kind of forget to talk about, or they mention it once and they never talk about it again, right? Audience is one of those ways that establish a high ranking score. Someone who talks about audience a lot is somebody who we look for a high ranking score. So if they refer to, so say they're talking about persuasive techniques and there's something particular about the persuasive technique that would work really well with their audience or would resonate really well or perhaps wouldn't resonate well with their audience, and they mention that, that's really good. So if they kind of go, they're talking about, say, pensions, and they're talking about how, like, people on the pension will suffer more, blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, well, hang on. My audience are, you know, older people, say baby boomers. Well, they care about pensions. So that actually connects really well with the audience. Does that make sense? That's really good stuff to do. So make sure you establish what your audience is and refer back to it through your piece. Okay, so who do you think this audience is? So let's just first off establish who the audience is. Where is this published? Can anyone tell me? The Fraser Chronicle, online. The Fraser Chronicle. The old Fraser.
It's online.
Okay, it is online. So it could be a younger audience. Okay, but just because it's online, that doesn't always mean that it is a younger audience, but it could be. So it's online. What about the kind of language it uses? It's very informal, isn't it? It's very kind of informal.
I think it's more focused towards like reinforcing people that were against the postal vote.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it really is kind of looking for more left-leaning people who were against the postal vote. Yeah, so people who were anti-postal vote but pro-same-sex marriage, don't you think? Because it is really, yes, same-sex marriage is good, but the postal vote was bad because it was really mean to gay people. Yeah, so pro same-sex marriage people, anti-postal vote, which tells us that they're probably left-leaning people. They're not people who are particularly fond of Labor or Liberal. That they're probably more a Green voter. Okay? Because both... So, Labor wanted to do a vote on this. Liberals wanted to do the postal vote. Greens just said, just do it. Just do it. No voting. Just do it. Yeah. So that kind of tells us that they're probably a little bit left-leaning.
How do we know? Like,
Because this article does not approve of the postal vote, but is pro same-sex marriage.
people are always just against Labor.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
What about Liberal people?
They're conservative.
What are Labor?
Labor are slightly more left-leaning, but very central.
So like
Yeah.
mid-ground.
Yeah. So they think they're left, but they're not. Yeah, they're not radical enough to be left. All right. So we want to talk about our audience. The audience for the for this piece would be predominantly young, because it's online. Predominantly younger viewers, as Australians, because it's Fraser Chronicle, which is an Australian paper. Australians
That are left-leaning.
that were pro same-sex marriage and anti-postal vote, which may indicate a left-leaning stance. Okay. All right. So the kind of things when you get to audience, if there's a bit in here that particularly says that Malcolm Turnbull is an idiot, this audience is going to be like, yay, because they hate Malcolm Turnbull. Lefties hate Malcolm Turnbull. So that's the kind of thing that you could go, oh, this audience would really appreciate this bagging out of Turnbull because they don't like him. Cool? All right. Got the audience and the relationship. Is there any relationship? They're all about postal voting. Yeah.
Postal voting on same-sex marriage.
Not necessarily on same-sex marriage, but like same-sex marriage is where we use the postal vote. So a lot of them talk about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, darling? Yes, darling?
Could you clarify what left-leaning means?
So you have a scale of politics, right? I'll draw it on the board. So you have, on the left, you have socialism.
Is this a common...
On the right, you have fascism.
Yeah.
Fashion.
commonly known as...
This machine.
Or is this...
In the middle, you have democracy. Okay? So, I'll just wait. So socialism, do you guys know what socialism is? Okay, socialism is like, nobody is in charge of you. You can do whatever the hell you want. Enjoy yourself. Be good. We all share everything. We all get to do whatever we want. Really, I would say there's a little bit further than that, and then there's anarchy.
Oh, I'd say communism.
Right? Communism is much more up this end.
Yeah. It's like fascist.
Yeah, so I'll just wait. So socialism says there is no like central power that tells you what to do, how to live your life, right? Fascism, on the other hand, is the government decides everything you do and controls everything you think, everything you say, everything you have control over, right? We are somewhere in the middle in a democracy where we're like, hey, look, we're going to tell you some of the things you can and can't do, but you're also going to get to vote on a lot of those things and you'll have some sort of control, right? When we talk about Liberal and Labor, we talk about left and right. Technically, Labor is supposed to be slightly left-leaning.
Wait, Labour?
Labor, okay? Liberals are supposed to be slightly right-leaning. Okay? But they're a little bit more towards being a fascist. And Labor is a little bit closer to being a socialist. Someone like the Greens is somewhere around here. Okay?
A lot of people know.
Yes. Adults do. Someone like One Nation would be somewhere around here.
Well, who would be closer to socialism? Even closer.
The Socialist Party?
Socialism.
There is. There's an Australian Socialist Party. You know the guy that came here the other day?
I don't go to these seminars.
No. There was a guy here the other day. The guy who a student teacher that I had. Did I bring him to your class? Nick. Yes. He's a socialist. How does your mum know about Nick?
She's my sister's tutor. She's my sister's tutor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she was saying, oh, he's all into politics and stuff like that.
Yeah, he is. He's a socialist.
So he just believes that everyone should
Yeah, my sister.
Yes. Ask him about it. You'll never hear the end of it.
What if a party, if that's technically forcing it upon everyone to do what they want?
How did your mum get Nick's number?
You liked that.
What are you implying about his mother?
I think she...
Cool.
She talked to Mr. Bean or maybe... Oh, Miss Gift.
Miss Kift. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Anyway, yes? Yes.
I would like education for free though.
He hasn't been here for a while. Yeah, he came to maths, he did a couple of English classes.
You have to bring him
He just
in.
hangs around. I will. He's lovely. But he's a socialist. So,
I don't think socialism is that bad. And then also there are aspects that are bad. That's why you need a balance.
agreed. All right.
Wait, so it's why democracy.
No, socialism is
Anarchy.
anarchy and then like a common
Yeah.
entity, and that would just
Right.
your tax.
So, ladies, gents, now that we've dipped our toe into politics, let's head back.
It's like strange, too close to common.
Hush, my darlings. So we've dipped our toe in politics, and this is very much a very what do you call it? Like a simplified version of how politics works, but it gives you a bit of an idea of like when we talk about left and right.
Is there a fascist party?
Yes, there is a fascist party.
No, that would never get voted in.
They probably would not get voted in. Yeah. But there is one, so power to them. Oh, it's the Fascist Party of Australia.
Let's just say.
Yes, Nick is part of it. Yeah, he is a socialist.
Fascism.
Maybe like there. Yeah.
Dictatorship.
Ugh. Anyway, okay, so I need to talk about relationship. Now, this one, there isn't really any kind of indication about the relationship. So you could either leave it blank or you could make some sort of comment on that he seems to be very emotionally invested in the plight of people who were pro same-sex marriage, or, you know, the LGBTI community.
Wasn't also the first
Did I get it right?
very pro-monarchy?
Yeah, you could also... damn it, I forgot the Q. So many letters. So many letters.
It's like half the
I'll just wait. So you could make a comment on his views about the gay community, and you could make a comment about his pro-monarchy stance as well. So I would probably put the pro-monarchy thing in here and maybe the same-sex thing here. Yep.
Could you say, because he's a news editor, he has to be up to date with the media?
You could, definitely. Yeah, you could say something about him being a news editor. Yeah. Lachlan?
Shall we familiarise with that?
My very simplistic diagram?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Please do. I mean,
Shall we branch out further, or just leave it at those?
yeah, that's enough to kind of give you a bit of an idea. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, darling.
Would you say that part of his audience are also people who are against, like, his stance? Because he's persuading.
I don't think so. I think he's one of those people who's preaching to a converted audience. Like, these are people who already believe that the same-sex marriage vote was awful, and he's just going further.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they already are people who he would align himself with. Yeah. So let's just kind of mention Jacques seems to have an underlying message. I've just lost the will to think. Of what is wrong with me? Monarchy, and a definite sympathy towards the plight of the LGBTQI community. If I get to write it out, I can do it. Community. Yeah. All right. Intersex. Yeah. All right. And technically, there's a plus after it, I think. Yeah. Oop, that's an equal. LBGTI equal community.
I'm not sure I know this one.
All right. We'll just wait. Still waiting.
Yeah, LGBT,
Right.
lesbian, gay,
Bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex,
yeah, that one.
plus community. Right.
It's like all the, it's basically just like one thing to.
I'll just
sum
wait.
it
Thank you. Okay,
up.
you do. Although some days you don't. Some days you just get dumber.
Relatable.
Feel like it. All right. So, do people feel okay about the difference between the two intros? That the general intro and the article intro are different. Now, the difference between the article, stay focused. The difference between the Article 1 intro and the Article 2 intro is that in the Article 2 intro, you need to start comparing. So you would probably try and start, and you'll remember on the video that I talked about adding like a linking sentence to the start of your Article 2 intro, that you'd put a linking sentence in there, and then I would try and make some comparisons throughout. So you might kind of be able to go and compare, say, their contentions. You might be able to compare perhaps their audiences. Yeah, you could compare their tone.
Why would you, but aren't you just introduced, like, writing something about Article 1, why would you compare?
No, I'm saying if this was Article 2, if this was the Article 2 intro, this is what you would do, okay? Because basically the intros for Article 1 and Article 2 are the same, except for the addition of comparison. So Article 3 would be the same as well. You make comparisons to the two others.
Oh, not just two.
No, you don't have to do it. like, you don't have to make every comparison. Just make some.
So you can't talk about the same sort that you already did.
No. Try and find new
It's
comparisons.
going to be like a million in total.
Yes. I'm not saying it's not difficult. It is. That's why we're in year 12 and not grade 5. I don't even remember grade 5.
But you still have to
That
read
whole year is gone for me.
primary school. is
Yeah.
gone.
Oh, I've got like 3 memories of primary school. One of them is a book in Italian about a cat called Micio, and he liked eating. And it was like, mangia, Micio, manja, manja. That was the book. It was great. So I know how to say eat in Italian. And I know about a cat. It's pretty much all the things that I remember. Isn't it funny the things that you hold on about primary school? Completely useless. Alright. Now, before the bell goes, ladies and gents, I know this was very slow going, but hopefully it did kind of consolidate what... Pardon? I was going to actually ask you that. I'll just wait until everyone's listening. Look at me. Look at me. I know you've been listening to me for a long time. I understand. You watched the video and now you're listening to me now, and that's hard. But I just need to get through this. I feel you. Oh, it's okay. I'll just edit this bit out in the end. Do we want to keep doing this all together next lesson?
Yes.
Does this help?
I'll
Excellent.
just review it.
Yes? He's giving the thumbs up. Stevie says the thumbs up. Alright, so next lesson, what we're going to do, still waiting. I think we're not till Friday. Yeah. So, yeah, because we had lesson yesterday. Got a 2 today, 1 tomorrow. 1 Friday. So for Friday, what I would like you to do, to have done is to have had an attempt at Article 1, which is that ballot, of its paragraphs. Don't worry about going and doing the comparison, but I want you to have a go at the 2 paragraphs. If you want, you can send them to me and I will give you some feedback about how they're looking.
So right.
Okay, so write the 3 articles. So we know that there are 3 arguments. 3? Yeah? 4, sorry. You know that there are 4 arguments, so I want you to write those 4 paragraphs. 2 persuasive pulls per paragraph. Just 2, okay? 2 persuasive pulls per paragraph. It's not till Friday, so you've got heaps of time to get it done. Please get it done. Please send me it. I can give you help then. I will send you these notes so that you can continue writing on from this.
Are you going to email us a homework reminder? Or?
Yeah, I will. You know it. Okay.